This fruit bush is growing all over the world and is used for several medicinal and culinary purposes. But it's always cooked before use, because the seeds has glycoside that induces cyanide. If you eat enough raw elderberries, it can cause a buildup of cyanide in your body, which will kill you eventually. So don't. It's called fugu in Japan, which means river pig. The blowfish contain high quantities of tetrodotoxin. If the chef will not prepare the fish as needed, expect a toxic that is 1,200 times more deadly than cyanide. And if you actually digest the toxic, yes, you're gonna die. Because there isn't any cure. Monkey brains can sometimes carry a disease called variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. If you're willing to go really gross and cruel, be careful. The disease takes 1 year to kill you. And it won't be a fun year. So for keeping the animal rights, just don't. It's a name of a traditional Egyptian dish. This is basically a fish that is rotten. Nobody really likes it, but hey, this is tradition. Sometimes the rotten fishes start to grow bacteria that is called botulism bacteria. If you get infected, you may die due to a similar reaction as in a stroke. The giant jellyfishes, which each year for the past several years, arrives by the mass to the shores of Japan. The jellyfishes became a problem because they sting and kill all the fishes in the nets. That makes the fishes inedible. So the Japanese people started eating them. The only problem is that they are poisonous. By cutting the toxic parts and cooking them, the Japanese cooks are sure that the jellyfish is safe for eating. In Namibia, the bullfrogs are good to eat. But only at the right time. But what is the right time? You guessed it. Mating season. If you eat one of these giant frogs not in the right timing, expect very painful urination and a possible death. The blood clam's blood is red because they have hemoglobin, like us. The problem is that clams filter about 40 liters of seawater per day. And the sea is dirty. Very. So the clams can transfer diseases like hepatitis, typhoid or dysentery. Choose your clam wisely. We're not talking about the actual nut, but its shell. Before roasted, the cashews can be toxic. The shell's oil contains anacardic acid, which can cause some really bad irritations. In Korea, this dish is called sanukji, which is basically a wriggling octopus. Every year several people die from choke due to wriggling legs that got stuck in their throats. If by any means you get to taste this, remember to chew good. World's most dangerous cheese. Flies come and lay eggs, which hatch into larvae. The larvae start feasting on the cheese, and that start decomposing the cheese. People then eat the cheese, with all of the worms and larvae jumping around, up to 6 inches. If the worms aren't digested, they start crawling and feasting on your intestinal walls. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.